This video contains AI-generated reenactments and narration created for documentary and educational purposes only. All information is based on publicly available sources. On a dark December night in 2020, a young man vanished on a Texas back road. He left behind his phone, his wallet, and his clothes neatly folded in his car. But he also left behind one small yet crucial detail: his shoes. Who was Jason Landry? How did he disappear without a trace? And why does the scene he left behind make so little sense? You're watching True Crimes AI. Jason Landry was a 21-year-old criminal justice student at Texas State University. Friends and family described him as quiet, responsible, and incredibly close with his parents. He had no criminal history, no known enemies, and absolutely no reason to just run away or disappear. At the time he went missing, he was home for the holidays in Missouri City, Texas, and was getting ready to head back to campus. By all accounts, everything seemed perfectly normal. On the night of December 13th, Jason left his family's home sometime after 11 p.m. He was making the roughly 3-hour drive back to San Marcos. At 11:40 p.m., he sent his final text message, a message that would later puzzle everyone who knew him. It said, "I'm about 10 minutes away." Hours later, his car would be found. But not Jason. The next morning, a silver Nissan Altima was discovered off Salt Flat Road near Luling, Texas. The scene immediately raised red flags. The car had gone straight through a sharp curve, but there was no evidence that Jason had even tried to brake. The crash damage was survivable, yet Jason was nowhere to be found inside and around the vehicle. Investigators made a series of discoveries. They found Jason's phone, its battery dead. They found his wallet, his laptop, and his keys. His backpack was there, and his clothes were neatly folded inside the car. But one thing was conspicuously missing: his shoes. There were no clear footprints leading away from the car, no signs of a struggle, and no evidence that anyone else had been there. It was as if Jason simply walked away into the pitch-black darkness, barefoot and completely alone. Local law enforcement, search and rescue teams, dedicated volunteers, and K-9 units immediately began to comb the area. They scoured the fields, creeks, and nearby ranch land. They searched the dense, wooded areas surrounding the crash site. The search dogs were able to track Jason's scent for a short distance, but then it just stopped abruptly. It was as if he had gotten into another vehicle, or the trail was disrupted in some other unexplainable way. Despite these exhaustive and repeated efforts, not a single trace of Jason Landry has ever been found. Several details make this disappearance especially baffling. First, why did Jason text that he was just 10 minutes away when he was still miles from his campus destination? Second, why were his clothes folded so neatly inside the car? Why would he leave without his shoes, especially on a cold December night? And why would he take absolutely nothing else with him? Everything about the scene seems to suggest some kind of careful planning, but Jason had no reason to disappear. The details just don't add up. Over the years, investigators and online communities have considered several possibilities. One theory is disorientation after the crash. Perhaps Jason suffered a concussion and wandered off into the Texas landscape, confused and injured. But the extensive searches of the area have turned up nothing: no remains, no scraps of clothing, no evidence at all. Another possibility is a voluntary disappearance. This seems highly unlikely. He left behind everything he would need to start a new life: his wallet, his ID, his phone, his laptop. He was a responsible student who was close to his family. It just doesn't fit his character. Then there's the theory of foul play. Some suggest he may have encountered someone on that dark road after the crash. While there's no direct proof to support this, that abrupt end to his scent trail definitely raises questions. Could someone have picked him up? The final theory is an accidental death in the area. Perhaps Jason fell into an unseen well, a culvert, or a waterway that hasn't been searched thoroughly enough. But again, repeated and extensive searches of the surrounding landscape have yielded absolutely nothing. Each theory leads to a dead end, leaving more questions than answers. Jason's family has been unwavering in their belief that he would never run away. They continue to advocate tirelessly for renewed searches, for public awareness, and for the answers they so desperately need. Every unanswered question, every baffling detail, keeps their pain fresh and keeps this tragic mystery unsolved. They are committed to finding out what happened to their son, no matter how long it takes. What makes Jason Landry's case stand out so much? He didn't vanish in the vast wilderness or a remote, isolated forest. He disappeared from a road that people travel on every single day. He left behind a scene so strange it almost looks staged. There were no footprints, no belongings taken, and no clear explanation for what happened. All that was left was a car parked on the side of the road, a young man gone without a trace, and one small detail, the missing shoes, that has haunted investigators, his family, and the public ever since. So, what really happened to Jason Landry on that Texas back road? Was he disoriented and lost in the darkness? Did someone intercept him after the crash? Or is there another explanation, one that might be hidden in plain sight? As of today, Jason Landry's disappearance remains unsolved, open, and profoundly baffling. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on new real cases, covered carefully and respectfully here on True Crimes AI. This content was created using AI-assisted narration and reenactments for educational and documentary purposes only.